Welcome everyone to Dead Talk Live. I'm your host Viz from Walking Dead Now. Want to welcome all of our viewers, new and regular. If you are visiting us for the first time, I invite you to please go check out our website located right there at deadtalklive.com. I want to welcome all our YouTube viewers, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It is Thursday, August 6th. Just want to make a little announcement. Apparently, YouTube has been having a lot of glitches over the last 48 hours, and they're experiencing a lot of outages. Hopefully, they have it fixed by now, and hopefully, all our YouTube viewers will not have any disruption tonight. So that's what's going on with YouTube. I want to welcome Jamie, who's with us on YouTube. Amazing Edits is on YouTube under the name Movie. Welcome Movie. Kovan is with us on YouTube. Matthias is with us on Facebook. Heart Productions is joining us on YouTube. Bree is on Facebook as well. Let's go over to the Instagram side. We have a lot of people with us. Diego. Oh, we have a caller. Hello, you're on Deck Talk Live with Viz. How are you? Hello? Yes, how are you? You're on Dead Talk Live. Okay, well, maybe it was a wrong number. Anyway, welcome Lazy on Instagram, Diego. We have a lot of people. I'm going to scroll through these names. We have AZ Gamer, AMX is with us, Antonio Javier is joining us, Andrew Valentine, Aiden85, Lena is with us from Indonesia. Welcome, guys. Aiden85 says, yep, another channel is down at least for another week. Wow. What we've been experiencing is just some intermittent outages on our live streams where people were getting some black screen, but when they would refresh the screens, it would come back up. So hopefully it's fixed, and at least as far as we're concerned, we're not going to have any more issues tonight. Jennifer and John Wesley are with us on Facebook. Regulars from Canada, welcome Jennifer and John. Let's see, Cassandra's with us on YouTube. Zoe's with us on Facebook. Yadira is also joining us on Facebook as well. Zambika's with us on Instagram. Anaj is also waving at us on Instagram. Alim writes, in love with the show, grew up with the show, started watching when I was 20. And now I'm 30. That's awesome. MD Shafi is waving at us. Pulsar Manic is a Walking Dead fan from India. So anyway, guys, I hope you're all doing well tonight. Donald Johnson is with us on Facebook. I hope you guys all enjoyed our interview yesterday with Lou Temple. I thought it was a fascinating chat. He is such a genuine person. He's such a nice person with a huge heart. Talk about a great person. And for those of you that tuned in, I really do hope you enjoyed that interview. It was a great hour of chatting with him and getting to know him, and just seeing how wonderful he is. It was a treat. It was a pleasure for me, and he was very thankful as well. And he wanted me to thank all of you guys as well, for tuning in last night. So thank you, guys. It was a great chat overall. I learned a lot of stuff that I did not know before. Hopefully you guys learned some new stuff as well. So Cassandra on YouTube writes, yes, great chat. Summer writes, it was an awesome interview. Jamie on YouTube writes, I couldn't be in your last stream because I had stuff to do. It's okay, Jamie. You can catch it on replay. I do recommend those of you who did miss that interview last night to watch it. Axel from season 3 of The Walking Dead, Lou Temple was our guest. It was just a fascinating chat. It's just fascinating. You got to watch it. I really, really recommend it. Kimmy is with us saying, sorry I missed it, but I watched it today. It was a great interview. Thank you, Kimmy. Dark Gaming Girl says, by the way, it's Moni from Facebook. Hey, Dark. So now we have you. Now we know your handle on Instagram as well. Welcome. Let's see. Alcabar saying hola. Aiden also says same. Lou made my day when he answered my question. AMX also liked it. So overall, just fascinating interview last night, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. Reminder that our next guest is going to be this coming Sunday evening. Sabrina Gennarino was going to be joining us Sunday evening. The Walking Dead's Jadis's top lieutenant, Tommy L. She's the one who kidnapped Gabriel. Gabriel turned it on her and held a knife at her throat. And remember, Jadis told Gabriel to put the knife down and to let her go. So make sure you tune in for that. She's also going to be hosting that virtual set tour with Pollyanna McIntosh, who played Jadis. They're going to be co-hosting a virtual tour of the Walking Dead set on August 14th. So we're going to get a lot more information about that on Sunday when she's here with us. We're going to get a lot more information about her time on the show and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's this upcoming Sunday right here on Dead Talk Live, starting at the same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So definitely don't want to miss that. Andrew Valentine writes, great. Sounds good for Sunday. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And so is she. Let's see. Zambika also writes, awesome. Urania is also with us on Instagram. Aiden writes, Pollyanna is such an active member of the Walking Dead community. She's great. Yes, and we're going to be seeing her in the movies. Even though that's not like been officially confirmed, there's no way they're making that, at least that first movie, without Jadis. She's a huge part in the explanation as to how Rick disappeared, which we all know she's the one that is responsible for it. So we're definitely going to be seeing Jadis in the movies. So she's still, and like Lou told us yesterday, guys, when you're on The Walking Dead, you're always a part of the family. Even if your time is come and gone on the show, you are forever a part of the Walking Dead family. And not only have we heard, that last night from Lou, we heard it from other guests that we had on this show. We've heard it from a whole bunch of other people that I've read articles from. It's a big family. And, we're a part of that family, the fans. We're all a part of that family as well. So I think that's awesome. Pulsar Maniac writes, Carl was awesome. Hyan is with us on Instagram, asking how are you? I'm doing good. How are you, Hyan? Fernando is also with us on Instagram. Durft Wick is joining us on YouTube, saying I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. So we got we got a little bit of news today. Well, not new news, just our daily catch-up stuff. The Walking Dead movies starring, Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln. There's going to be a crossover, obviously not just from The Walking Dead, and not obviously just from the new show that's coming out in October, World Beyond, but there's going to be elements of all three shows, okay? The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and World Beyond are all going to collide in the Rick Grimes movies. And here's what the article went on to say. Where Rick went when he was taken and why he hasn't come back in the last 6 years were all questions that are expected to be answered when the first Walking Dead movie releases. Some of these mysteries have been touched on in Fear and may be indirectly explored in World Beyond. Elements from the different shows will return in the movies, but it could be that their connection will be a lot closer than expected. Plot lines and characters across all three Walking Dead shows could converge in the Rick Grimes movies. So there you guys have it. We knew that World Beyond is sort of a lead-in into the CRM, which is going to be a lead-in into the Rick Grimes movies. Obviously, The Walking Dead, where Rick Grimes originated from, is going to be a huge part of the movies. But we also learned that there's going to be elements of fear in the Rick Grimes movies as well. I think that's fantastic. This plot line, I feel bad for the writers. They have a hard job putting this all together and coming up with a good script. So, like they mentioned earlier this year, if there's a silver lining in this pandemic, is that it's given them more time to fine-tune the script to make it work the way they want it to work instead of, them being rushed. So if you're looking for some silver linings, there you go. Zachary is with us on Instagram. Thank you for asking my question yesterday. He's asking, can we please get Alpha on this show? She is my favorite ever. I would love to get Samantha Morton on this show. And we're trying. We are trying. So let's see. Who else? Pulsar is asking, how did the Walker's disease started? Robert Kirkman jokingly said that he was from outer space. He wasn't really serious. Will we find out in the movie? Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. Movie on YouTube writes, Viz, what is your favorite character in the Walking Dead World Beyond? It hasn't released yet. My favorite character is Hope. I love Alex Mansour, the actress, and I'm so excited. I like Hope's character as well. We're going to get some really interesting characters on that show. And as far as who my favorite is, all we have are just summaries of their characters. I'm the kind of person that I want to wait and see how that character translates on the screen before I make any kind of judgment call on that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just hold off on that one and just reserve my judgment until we see what comes out on the screen. Let's see. 3882 is with us on Instagram. Dev Horizon is joining us. A lot of smiley love faces. Genero's giving us a thumbs up on Instagram. So here are 10 of the most amazing things that we have learned on The Talking Dead. Okay? The majority of the cast, number 10, is the majority of the cast learned sign language for Lauren Ridloff, who plays Connie, and Angel Theory, who plays Kelly, both of whom are hearing impaired. Okay, that's number 10. Number 9 is that apparently everyone in the cast is just absolutely mesmerized by Kaylee Fleming's performance. And that's Judith, for those of you that don't know. Everybody who's appeared on the show and has filmed scenes with her talked about how impressed they are with her dedication to the craft and fabulous talent at such a young age. And man, does that directly come through on the screen with her. Number 8 on the list is that Michael Cudlitz came back to direct. Michael Cudlitz directly answered that question when he was our guest about 2 months ago. Not only has he directed the Walking Dead episodes, he has also directed 2 episodes of World Beyond. So Michael Cudlitz, just like Lou Temple, they are not on the show anymore, but forever a part of the Walking Dead family, just like I stated earlier. Number 7, this is again something that Lou Temple brought up yesterday. Number 7 is everyone looks up to Andrew Lincoln when he was on the show. While it's clear that Andy and Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl, have a special bond and a close friendship, Every cast member who has appeared on The Talking Dead couch has sung the praises of Andrew Lincoln, both as a solid and dedicated actor and a human being. So, again, Lou Temple mentioned that yesterday as well, as far as Andy's dedication to his craft and just how wonderful of a person he is in real life as well. Number 6 is we learned on The Talking Dead how walkers are made through special makeup effects and, of course, CGI. Number 5 is the Johnny Depp walker. I mentioned this in a prior episode as well. In an episode in the 6th season, there was sort of like a secret cameo of a celebrity in the form of a walker, or better yet, a walker's head. Remember that episode where they were trying to get a lookalike walker for Greg to fool the Saviors, and they lined up 3 of them in a row. One of those decapitated heads in that scene was actually a mold of Johnny Depp's head. Remember that scene where Rick picks up one head and I forgot, somebody else tells him Greg's nose was broken, and Rick just started punching the crap out of that decapitated walker head. That was classic Rick. Anaganda is with us on Instagram. Welcome. Let's see. We have Jesus giving us a thumbs up. AMX also remembers that in season 6. That was a funny moment. Funny moment. AZ Gamer writes, Viz, we're all so damn excited for the next guest interview. It's coming up on Sunday. You don't have to wait very long. AMX, the best way to stop that is to not respond. And I'm saying that to everyone across all the platforms. Do not respond, and the problem will go away. You'll see how simple it is. Don't respond. Number 4 on the list is behind the scenes of big explosions. The show has provided a behind-the-scenes look on how the big explosions are created, and the teams who passionately work to create them in a safe but yet compelling way. For example, in the finale of season 1, the CDC building was one that was totally blown up on the show. It happened in that, finale with Dr. Jenner at the CDC, where Jenner told Rick that everybody was infected. So right before he decided to stay behind and perish with the building is when he revealed that secret. And that building that was actually blown up is the Cobb Energy Center, a performing arts center in Atlanta. They don't specify whether the building was set to be demolished or whether it was just all CGI. So I'm not too clear on that one. So we have to wait and see. Zoe's with us also on Facebook. Xanders is also joining us on YouTube, saying, I think we talked about that when we had the guest on the show that makes the masks, right? Yes, we did. Jake Cuevas is joining us on YouTube. Welcome, Jake, on YouTube. So, number 3, we learned of a whole bunch of celebrities that are diehard Walking Dead fans. The show has revealed various celebrities as big fans of The Walking Dead, the biggest of whom, aside from Chris Hardwick, who is the host, is Yvette Nicole Brown. She takes notes while watching the episodes and keeps them in a trusty notebook. She has also filled in for Chris Hardwick as host. And other celebrities that we've learned are huge fans of the show include Alice Cooper, Dave Navarro, Kevin Smith, Nathan Fillion, who I'm a big fan of Nathan's, Chris Jericho, and Lil Jon. So I'm sure there's a lot more celebrity fans out there. So, I'm sure there's a lot more celebrity fans who love The Walking Dead beyond that. So, number two, this is something that we probably all know, is that whenever a major cast member, or even not major, any cast member is about to die, they hold a big, like, what they call a death dinner, a family dinner to, for the whole cast, crew to get together, show their appreciation for the person that's about to be killed off the show. And I think that's great. I love that. And their exact words is, every time a major character is killed off and the actor films their final take, the cast and crew get together for what they call a death dinner in order to bid the person farewell. During the dinner, they all enjoy some grub and say a few words to their dearly departed. It's almost like a living funeral for a character to celebrate with the actor who played them. Were these death dinners anything like the Thanksgiving dinner dream sequence that appeared on the show? Who knows? Probably something close. And the number one thing that we learned before the episode happened on Talking Dead is that it took them over 9 seasons, but we finally saw winter weather on The Walking Dead. I mean, after 9 seasons, I was even beginning to question that. Okay? I mean, it's always pretty much sunny and hot every day. And supposedly through the 9 seasons, we're supposed to see them throughout all the different seasons of the year. Never once has it been cold. Never once have we seen a drop of snow. Finally, in season 9, in the finale, with that big storm where they were leaving the kingdom and they had to cross over into the Whisperer's territory. It was during that huge storm that we finally got to see some snow on The Walking Dead. I was like, finally. Also, that's the episode where Negan saved Judith, where she ran off to save Daryl's dog, and she nearly freezed to death, and Negan came to her rescue. So, AMX writes, we need more wholesome scenes like that. The snowball fight. I've mentioned this before. How season 9 ended was really bizarre for me. Season 9 ended on a happy note, somewhat. I mean, yeah, a lot of people died in the previous episodes, with their heads being put on pikes by the Whisperers, but there was snowball fights. They were happy they made it back home to Alexandria. The show ends with Judith and Ezekiel talking on the radio between Hilltop and Alexandria. The only big, question mark that happened just before they, hit the credits was that strange voice that came on the radio, which turned out to be Stephanie. But overall, it was a happy season finale. The only one that we've had in, at that point was 9 seasons on The Walking Dead. I'm pretty sure that is not going to happen this year. I'm pretty sure the finale that we're going to get on October 4th is not going to have a really, happy ending. It's going to be epic. It's going to be dramatic. A lot of people are going to die. I definitely believe more than one major character is going to die on the finale. And my money is on Gabriel and Ezekiel. But yeah, don't expect that kind of finale for season 10. So we have to wait and find out. Unknown Gamer Jed is with us on YouTube saying, plot twist, Rick Grimes realized it was all a dream. No, we've discussed that. That's not new, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. That's like show suicide. Remember, the creators, production team, the big bosses of The Walking Dead want The Walking Dead universe to continue well beyond whenever the final season airs of the original Walking Dead. And they're not going to destroy that by making that theory become reality. Summer is with us on YouTube saying, I'm looking forward to the 6 extra episodes. So am I. We are going to be getting character flashbacks. James David is with us on Facebook. Shout out from the Philippines. Welcome, James David. NYW writes, Game of Thrones versus The Walking Dead. I love both of them. I love both those shows. You know, I've asked in a very early episode, you know, what would scare you guys more, White Walkers or Walking Dead walkers? The Sheriff TWD is also with us on YouTube. So, Summer is also on Instagram, I see. So moving on, guys. That was the top 10 list of things that we learned on The Talking Dead. How about this title? Okay, check this title out. Madison saves Morgan in Fear the Walking Dead Season 6. Intriguing. If she really is dead, I will say without any hesitation that her death was the most underwhelming of any character in the Walking Dead universe. If Madison is truly dead on Fear the Walking Dead, which I'm hoping she's not, but if she is, without any hesitation, the most underwhelming death of any character in the entire Walking Dead universe. Aiden85 writes, I love Madison. I really liked Madison too. I liked her a lot. She was a strong female lead, a great leader, willing to do whatever it took to keep her family safe, for her children. A lot of similarities with her and Rick. But if she is alive, this would be one hell of a way to bring her back. That she ends up saving Morgan's life. And if she does come back, they're going really out of their ways to keep that a big, big secret. You know, as far as the actress appearing on set, no kind of leaks whatsoever. I really do hope, honestly and personally, I really do hope that Madison is still alive. I really did like her. I liked her a lot. Summer writes on YouTube, if Madison is dead, I will be so upset. You don't even get to see her die. Exactly. It's beyond underwhelming. So I never bought that she was dead. Like they did with Morgan. You guys got to remember, Morgan only appeared in 3 episodes for the first 5 seasons of The Walking Dead. I think Madison's alive. I think she's going to come back. AZ Gamer is also on YouTube as well, saying, we want Madison back, and we all wish that she is alive. Cecilia on Facebook is joining us tonight. I think Cecilia is asking about the last episode of season 10. Cecilia, it's coming up October 4th. That's when it's going to air. Cassandra Drake on YouTube writes, I hope you're right, Viz. Bad Boy 4757 is with us on YouTube saying, what's up? What's up, Bad Boy? Brenda is joining us on YouTube. Hello, Brenda. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. AMX writes, I miss Alicia in Fear the Walking Dead as Lexa in the 100. Yes, I love Alicia's character, though, on Fear the Walking Dead. I think she's exactly where she belongs right now. But I understand what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. So basically with the article concerning Madison, here's what it had to say. Heading into season 6, Fear the Walking Dead storylines haven't gotten any happier. In fact, the show is getting darker. and it's going to get really dark in season 6. Season 5 ended with most of the protagonist group being forcibly taken in by Virginia, while Morgan was shot and left to die surrounded by walkers. Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 trailer has already revealed that Morgan is still alive, for now they say, but the franchise veteran is clearly in bad shape, and his situation becomes exponentially worse when Virginia sends a bounty hunter after him. Morgan is going to need help to survive, but with most of his friends otherwise occupied, who could leap to his rescue? Perhaps the most intriguing potential hero riding in to save Morgan would be a returning Kim Dickens as Madison Clark. As a rule of a zombified thumb in the world of The Walking Dead, audience shouldn't assume a character's death is set in stone unless their demise is explicitly confirmed on screen. Okay? I want to repeat that. If you see a death explicitly confirmed on the screen, we have had many people say they want Beth to come back. No. Beth is a classic example of a death that is explicitly confirmed on the screen. So, on countless occasions, Fear the Walking Dead and its parent series have teased the deaths of main characters only for the victim to somehow escape the clutches of the Reaper. Madison's death scene could absolutely fall in this category. We never saw her die. The last we saw of her, she was just trapped in a stadium that was on fire. And her children were outside, and they assumed she died, and they drove off. That's the last we see of Madison Clark. Buddy's with us on Facebook, saying, I really love Walking Dead since season 1. I'm excited for it to come back on the air. Myrna is also joining us on Facebook, watching from the Philippines. Welcome both to Buddy and Myrna on Facebook. Zach, talk English, buddy. MILF Money 345 is agreeing with AMX. So AMX wrote, Morgan has survived too long to be killed by a gunshot wound. And remember, Morgan's famous quote, I don't die. I mean, we all know that's not true, but I think he really truly believes that. So maybe this gunshot is, going to make him show that he's not as invulnerable as he might think. Andrew Valentine on Instagram writes, Dwight or Madison would be even better. I really want to see Madison back. I would love to see how Madison and Morgan, how those two characters interact. I think they would get along great. Like I said, Madison is very similar to Rick, and Morgan and Rick got along fine. So I don't see any tension between those two. Let's see. Just scrolling down through down the list. Aiden85 writes, Michonne and Rick say we don't die as well. Yes. And I believe they first said that right before Michonne was thrown off a balcony by the scavengers when they betrayed them. They've said that to each other many times. Gypsy Road is with us on YouTube saying, I like Morgan. I love Morgan too. So for the people that have been asking about what would Daryl do right now if he knew Michonne had found evidence that Rick might still be alive, okay? So Norman Reedus himself answered that question. So here's what he had to say. Probably Daryl, despite knowing the reality of the facts, he would not have gone away. So Norman Reedus went on to say, he feels you have to take care of the children. He has to take care of the rest of the group. I don't think he would have followed Michonne at that moment. I think the group needs his help more. So no, not at that moment, and Michonne can definitely take care of herself. So if you're all of you guys that this question has been brought up, what would Daryl do if he knew Rick was still alive? Well, that came from Norman Reedus himself in regards to his character on The Walking Dead. He thinks Daryl will stay exactly where he's needed. And right now he's needed at where he is, at that hospital to try to beat out those whisperers. Hard Productions writes, Daniel is unkillable, Summer. Yeah, goddamn, Daniel on Fear the Walking Dead. Guy got shot in the face and he's still alive. Gypsy Road writes, I would love to see Bill Murray play a zombie in The Walking Dead, just like Zombieland, huh? That got him killed in Zombieland. CC Wheezy writes, that's why Judith won't tell him. She said she's afraid to lose him too. Good point. Good point, CC. AMX writes, Judith just said Michonne went to help some people. Exactly. She was very vague as to what she told Daryl. Now, we do know, that there's going to be something that happens in season 11 that causes more than Daryl to actually go out and at least try to start searching for Rick. So they do find out in season 11 that he's possibly alive. What that is, how that's going to unfold, we have no idea. We just have to wait and see. You know what I'm saying? AZ Gamer writes, Daniel is a badass. How many Breaking Bad fans do we have in here? Okay, this is in relation to Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. I love Breaking Bad, a classic show. I love it. I love it. I love it. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs as we've covered before in The Walking Dead in relation to Breaking Bad. So basically, what they want us to know is, if you guys wonder what the Walking Dead world universe was like before the zombie apocalypse, it's Breaking Bad, okay? Breaking Bad is the Walking Dead world before the zombie apocalypse, okay? So all throughout the early seasons of The Walking Dead, numerous references to Breaking Bad have been dropped, okay? But anyway, for all you Breaking Bad fans out there, and if you haven't watched it, I do highly recommend that you do. The Walking Dead special effects team was brought in for one particular death scene on Breaking Bad. Can you guys which one? Guess which one? It was actually Gus Fring. I don't want to spoil it entirely, but if you remember Gus's death scene on Breaking Bad, and how that unfolded, that is the work of the Walking Dead special effects team. It was the only time that the Walking Dead, the Breaking Bad, turned to the Walking Dead special effects team for help for Gus Fring's death. You know what I mean? So let's see. Just Lone Soul says it's 4 a.m. in my country. Well, you're either up really early or you're up really late. Either way, thank you for joining us. P-Dog writes, love the blue meth reference when T-Dog cut his ass on the road. That blue meth was also referenced in the bag that Daryl pulls out of his what was it, a knapsack or wherever, where he had pill boxes and stuff. All the way at the bottom, there was a big stash of the blue meth. Walter White's meth. So sorry guys, I'm just reading through the chats here. Summer writes, I remember how Gus looked and died. And doesn't it remind you of Carl, Summer? You know, the way Gus looked? It reminds me of Carl. So anyway, interesting little tidbit there about the Walking Dead special effects team going over to help Breaking Bad. So this is very interesting. I saved this for last on the announcements. This is in regards to Laurie Holden, who played Andrea on The Walking Dead. Now I know Andrea is not a big, huge fan favorite for some of you, but I liked Andrea. I mean, I didn't love her. I didn't hate her. I tolerated her. She annoyed me with a lot of the stupid decisions her character made on the show. But let me just read you the article. Laurie Holden, who played Andrea on The Walking Dead, and according to her, her character should have been around for years, changing Rick's romantic fate on the show. Previously, at Walker Stalker Con, Holden talked about everything as she held a panel with Jeffrey DeMunn, who played Dale on the show. The discussion was juicy, and no holds were barred with the two actors who were on the hit show from the very beginning. Holden revealed to the audience that when she was brought on to play Andrea, she signed an 8-year contract when she joined what they call the baby series. It hadn't even started, called The Walking Dead. 8 years. Andrea was supposed to be on the show for 8 years, but her character, Andrea, only made it to the finale of season 3. And she goes on to say, well, I had an 8-year deal. I was supposed to be there until the end. I was supposed to end up with Rick, just like in the comic books. Rick and Andrea are a couple. I was supposed to save Woodbury on a horse, and I was buying a house in Atlanta. And I got the call at 10 o'clock the night before while I was shooting from the showrunner, who is no longer a part of The Walking Dead, saying that they couldn't write the episode and that he was killing my character. So we all got the script. Everybody on the set was sobbing. I felt like I got shot. None of it was supposed to happen the way it did. So I'm sure there's stuff that she's not saying as well, but she got, along with Andrew Lincoln, one of the longest contracts before this show started. Now, when they killed her off, they had to fulfill at least the compensation, the money part of her contract. That's what a contract is there for. But it doesn't mean that you're going to act the whole length of your contract. Same thing in sports. So they could kill you off. They still have to pay you the money you were promised. But they made the decision to kill Andrea off. And like I said, when it comes to Andrea, I didn't hate her nor love her. What annoyed me the most about Andrea was really just the stupid decisions her character had made, like letting the governor live when she clearly could have taken that psychopath out. She was always looking for the good when the bad was just blatantly staring her in the face. All right? She knew the governor was bad. That night, when they slept together and she got out of bed in the middle of the night and literally had the knife over his chest, she could have ended him right there. And she could have saved a lot of lives. But she didn't. And to me, that was like one of the dumbest decisions Andrea's character ever made. It's the one that annoys me the most. Summer on YouTube writes, yes, it does. She also says that she wanted Rick. And remember, Andrea and Shane had a little thing in season 2. And while Shane was driving a car. Cecilia is on Facebook. Sorry, Cecilia, I don't understand what you're asking. Cassandra Drake on YouTube is saying, and yes, she was always trying to be the savior. Yeah, she always thought that she knew better. She always thought her decisions were the right decisions. Like when she was in Woodbury, and she found out that her friends were alive and holed up in a prison. And she made the trek from Woodbury to the prison, expecting to be welcomed with open arms. Hell no, that's not how it played out. They frisked her ass at the gate. And Rick was pissed. Rick was pissed with her. And, her associating with this psychopath. Cassandra writes, yep, she was a pain. AZ Gamer writes, her decisions were not at all cool. They were not. Let's see. Stay saying on Instagram, I'm thinking of starting The Walking Dead again, and to see if I can get up to date by the season 10 finale. Ooh, that's less than 2 months. 10 seasons in 2 months. If you're really dedicated, you can definitely do it. You're going to have to watch a lot of episodes per day. So let's get to tonight's base topic, okay? What I want to start doing is character profile episodes. Not about the big characters that we all know, like Rick, Daryl, Michonne, all of them. The ones, the major players. We know them. We all know them. We all know what they're about. We know as much as we're going to know about their backgrounds up until now. But I want to start focusing in on some of the lesser known characters. Like for me, the biggest character who is currently on The Walking Dead, that is the biggest mystery for me, is Magna. And I'm really surprised that a lot of other people don't have the same, or at least don't express the same kind of curiosity about who Magna really is. What is she about? We have not been given that much information. We know that she sort of has a chip on her shoulder. We know that Yumiko was her lawyer. She was in jail. We know that she's of Greek descent. We know from the comic books that when the apocalypse broke out, she was in Richmond, Virginia. And as far as pre-apocalypse, that's all we know about Magna. So, let's just go over what we do know about Magna. And guys, please feel free to chime in here and share your thoughts as well on what you guys think of, Magna, hypotheticals, might-be's about Magna. Cassandra Drake on YouTube writes, I feel like Magna could be a crossover from Orange is the New Black. I never thought of it like that, but you're right. You're absolutely right. Magna would be a great character on that show. I love that show. She would be a great character on Orange is the New Black. Never thought of that. That's some great insight, Cassandra. So let's see what I have written down here. So from the comic books, let's just go over what we do know. Magna is a character that was first encountered in issue 127 in The Walking Dead. Here's something you guys may not know. When we met the group of Luke, Yumiko, Magna, Connie, and so on, Yumiko was the leader, right? It was all assumed just by her actions that Yumiko was the leader of that small group at the time. But it's not. In the comic books, Magna is the leader. So I don't know how many of you guys knew that. Magna is the leader of that group, not Yumiko. In the TV show, all indications were given that Yumiko was the one in charge. So they started out in Richmond, Virginia, trying to survive while trying to divert a herd of zombies away from Alexandria. The end result is one person dies, And though she and her group are then taken back to Alexandria to reside there, later on, after the death of another one of her friends at the hands of the Whisperers, she does join Rick Grimes' militia against the enemy group, the Whisperers. Several years after Rick's death, Magna and Yumiko are still a couple, very much alive, and happily living at the Commonwealth. So in the comic books, Yumiko and Magna are one of the ones that are still alive when the whole thing ends in the comic books. So, a little tidbit there. Whether that's going to play out in the TV show, we have no idea. That is something that can absolutely change in the TV show. Carl was still alive in the comic books as well. And as we all know, and, it saddens us all, Carl is no longer on the show anymore. Another thing we know about Magna, pre-apocalypse from the comics, her dad was homophobic. Thus, she had to hide her sexual orientation from him. She just ended up in Richmond. We don't know where she came from before that. She was the leader of the group. When Magna and her group were brought into Alexandria, they wanted to live there. It was Rick and again Andrea are the ones who interview her. Okay, so when Rick and Andrea were still doing the interviews, the same way Deanna did the interviews with Rick and his gang when they first came into Alexandria. Okay, that stopped as soon as Deanna died on the TV show. But in the comic books, it's a tradition that Rick and Andrea and group carried on. Okay? So it was Rick and Andrea that did the interview to Magna. Because, like I said, Andrea was still supposed to be here. And she's not. And the only other thing that we really know about Magna is after she did join Rick's militia, she kind of played a big role in that militia. And she was really involved in the ultimate defeat of the Whisperers. Beyond that, we know nothing. So we have, about 5 minutes. If you guys want to call in the last few minutes, please do so. The number is 718-509-9270. If you're in the U.S., if you're outside the U.S., please use Skype. Look us up, Walking Dead Now, and it's a free Skype to Skype call. Amazing Edits on Instagram writes, I would like to see a 1-episode adventure with Daryl and Magna. This could be interesting. It would be. And you know what, guys? Amazing Edits brings up Daryl. I love Daryl and Connie together. Don't get me wrong here. But I think Daryl and Magna, I know that, her preference is with women. But if they change the character around for the TV show, I think Daryl and Magna would have made a great couple. I think they're very similar and different also in quite a few ways. Daryl had a huge chip on his shoulder as well when we met him in season 1. Magna, still has a chip on her shoulder to this day. So they're very similar. And if they would have written it a little bit differently, I would have loved to see, Magna and Daryl as a couple. Pedro Estevez is joining us on YouTube. Welcome, Pedro. Jamie says, I feel so energized. Awesome, because you're drinking coffee for the first time. If you're drinking it for the first time, coffee will do that to you. Let's see. Andrew also says, yep, so was Carl in the comic books, but they wrote him out. Let's see. Just scrolling through the chats. AZ Gamer on Instagram writes, Viz, what do you think the decision made by characters in the comics were right made decisions, or wait, let me reread that. What do you think the decisions made by the characters in the comics were right made decisions or in the TV show? So you're asking me the decisions that were made by the characters in the TV show versus the ones made in the comics. Which ones were right? Which ones were wrong? You can split that list right down the middle. Half of them were right on the comic books. Half of them were right on the TV show. You would have to really go one by one. You know what I mean? You can literally split that list right down the middle. Zachary writes, are you a Rob Zombie fan? I am. Apologize, that's off topic, but I am a big Rob Zombie fan. Fire Eater 5 says Carl is packing though. They did send, yep, Carl is no longer with us. Amazing Edits writes in regards to Magna and Daryl, saying this could work. Just scrolling down. Zambika is leaving us. Thank you for joining us, Zambika, tonight. It's a pleasure as always. JF on Instagram writes, Negan is the best. AMX writes, I'm sad we never got to see Rosita and Siddiq as a couple. Their relationship was just referenced off the screen. We never did get to see them as a couple. Leo is giving us 3 fires. Let's see. Just scrolling up. So Aiden85 just wrote, Indian Leo. Remember, guys, what I said. Please don't respond. If you just don't do that, it will stop. Have I mentioned any names? No. Just trust me. Don't respond. And I'm not giving that any more attention. Let's see. Jeffrey Smells is joining us. Hey, Jeffrey, you caught us at the end of the show tonight, man. We've missed you. It's been a while. We always loved your input. Bertram is with us on YouTube saying this show is still on. If you're talking about The Walking Dead, yes, it is still on. Crispin writes, what is your favorite comic book motion picture? Oh, God, Batman. The Christian Bale Batman, yeah, that's my favorite, without a doubt. I love Batman. Jeffrey Smells writes, bummer. I'll be back tomorrow because you stream every day. Yes, Jeffrey, I do stream every day. And we actually miss you, Jeffrey. You have some great input. So, guys, we are out of time for tonight. I want to thank all you guys for tuning in tonight. It's always a pleasure to spend this hour with all of you. Crispin writes, Batman is my favorite too. I enjoy the Joker picture. The Joker is the best villain of all time. The Joker is just someone who is psychotic, sadistic, doesn't care about anything, and just wants to see the world burn. So that's what makes him the most dangerous villain of any TV show, movie, comic, you name it, it's the Joker. And that's why the Joker is so famous. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Saz. Thank you to my team. Thank you to all my viewers. Thank you to all my followers. You guys are amazing as always. I'll be back on the air tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And until then, guys, remember to always stay walking.